What is going on, everybody? We are back with another reaction video. Thank you so much for joining me today. The support truly means a lot. And to all my new viewers, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Today, I will be checking out another highly requested video. But before I get into this video, I want to read this quick article real quick about Michael Myers. Or should I say Mike Myers? Or should I say Michael John Myers? There's so many different ways to say his name. Which way should I go about it? Here we go. So we got Michael John Myers, born May 25th, 1963. Okay. So, his age is right here. I was going to take a guess, too. Okay, he's 61. He is currently 61. I was going to take a guess, man. My guess was going to be around in I was going to be off by 2 years. I'm not going to lie. I was going to be off by 2 years. So he is a Canadian actor, a comedian, and a filmmaker. Oh my goodness. He's achieved 7 MTV Movie and TV Awards, a Primetime Emmy Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award in 2002. He was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2017, and he was named an officer of the Order of Canada for his extensive and acclaimed body of comedic work as an actor, writer, and producer. My goodness. This man was a jack of all trades. I like that right there, a man with the talent, a man doing things, not one thing, but multiple things. That's what it's about. You got to achieve multiple things in life and stop sticking to just one thing, or you're going to be basic. Honestly, today we will be checking out Mike Myers, Canadian Pride. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Oh, I'm looking forward for this one. I've been looking forward to this one right here. I've been really looking forward to this one. Here we go.
Mike, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you moved away 33 years ago.
Yes.
We kind of thought you'd forgotten about us.
No, quite the opposite.
Yeah, your book is it's all full of, you're almost like a Canadian.
I'm almost like a Canadian.
Canadiana hoarder.
Me? Well, that's what happens. There's nobody more Canadian than a Canadian who no longer lives in Canada. And so, I say in the book, and a lot of my friends in America accuse me of enjoying being Canadian. And I go, I do enjoy being Canadian. What's not to enjoy? It's not a perfect place. As my dad would say, in a perfect world, you don't need utopia. But I challenge in the history of nation states to find any other country that's tried to get it right as much as Canada has. You know what I mean? And just even in the act of trying to get it right is the right thing to do. We're very politically correct at times, and I always think, wasn't politically correct just being considerate and nice for the most part? You know what I mean? One can get trapped in it, but we're very polite people. When does that get bad? Believe me, all you have to do is go to a country where people aren't polite, and you kind of love the Canadian standoff of two Canadians in a doorway. After you. Oh, nobody after you. After you. And you're just sitting there. In New York, you'd be like, go, right? But in Canada, it's fantastic. That's who we are.
But are we too polite? Do we lack confidence? I mean, you've decided to live there. You've succeeded there.
I do love America. It's a great place to make things, and I make things. You know what I mean? I miss Canada. You can take the boy out of Canada, but you can't take the Canada out of the boy. I'm British by heritage.
Yeah, your dad was staunchly British.
Yeah.
He didn't like your accent.
Interesting.
No, we had a Liverpool accent, talk like that, great, love it. And then I would say, hey, Dad, pass the sauce. He'd go, sauce. Because you hear that, missus? What a terrible accent our children have. I go, you're the limey freak, dude. You're in my country.
We don't think we have an accent. There is no Canadian.
Yes,
accent.
there is a belief that in the integer of the English language that we are at zero linguistically or accent-wise. It's not true. We have a very thick Canadian. The accent is very, very pronounced, more than I think Canadians think that it is.
Well, the one we always hear is oot. Say oot again.
Oot.
We don't say oot.
Out. But there's I think, is it called a diphthong? I'm looking like as if there's a...
I know I wasn't going crazy. Remember last video I told y'all that? It was some crazy accent. I thought they said she was from Toronto, and she was like, yeah, my youth and oot and this. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. She was saying Jamaican and British and Canadian language? What is going on? She was using it all in one. I'm so serious. If I had the video, I would show y'all right now. Oh my goodness, man.
linguistic
Expert.
linguist here.
Yes.
Can somebody find the linguist, please? Thank you. It's out.
And we don't really say A all the time.
Yes, we do. We do. We really do. And there's another thing too of Canadian women, as a tendency, but not as a rule. There's a oh yeah. And in America, you know, an American was telling my sister-in-law in America a story, and she was being polite, saying, so he's like, yeah, I was on the subway today. And she went, oh yeah. And the American was like, I'll get to the end of the story. You don't have to shut me down, because it sounded like, oh yeah, will you stop talking?
Well, exactly.
But instead, we're saying, I'm interested. I'm listening to you.
Maybe.
It depends how you say it. It depends how it comes off. If you're like, oh yeah, like that's how I would say it. I actually do say that. Whoa, wait. I actually do. Like when random people speak to me and they just be talking to me about their issues out of the blue, and I'm walking past them quick, I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, man, that's crazy, man. Like, you know, I could relate with you real quick. You know, I could relate real quick and get on with my day.
It's passive aggressive. Maybe we're not really that polite. We're just not telling you what we really think.
There is a little bit of that. There's a little. We will put up a wall of pleasant to people, to Americans mostly.
Yeah. Well, we feel very superior right now watching what's happening in the elections in the States.
No, I bet Canadians are doing a jig right now. Look at those Yankee idiots. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. But for the most part, we're just not a terribly angry people. Hockey, of course, would make you think that what I just said is a complete lie. But, you know, the crowds at Maple Leaf or now Air Canada Centre, like if the other team does a nice passing play, we'll get a round of applause. I wore a Toronto Maple Leafs shirt to a New York Rangers game, and I evidently found out stuff about my mother I had no idea. Evidently, my mother's a prostitute. There we have it. It's funny what you learn at a hockey game, huh?
But do Canadians need to be more competitive? You say it's like Americans.
Here's what I say. This is just my opinion. This whole book is just my opinion. I'm happy to hear Canadians' opinions. You know what I'm saying? And I am fascinated by because it's not a famous experience being Canadian. We don't have if you're English, you can say it's a little bit like Harry Potter. It's a little bit like, or if you're American, it's like a little bit like anything you've seen on Disney. And in Canada, there's no real film for us to point to about a Canadian childhood. And it often feels like a dream, you know what I mean?
Beachcombers? No?
You can't point that to anybody because nobody outside of Canada would have seen the Beachcombers, which is
No one's seen anything? There's nothing? No
Anne of Green Gables. And I can hardly say, okay, so growing up in Scarborough, so remember when she got her pigtails in the inkwell? Well, it's not like that. But the point is, you know what I mean? There really isn't. We're not a culture for export. That's okay. But everything else balances it out.
Yeah.
I'll often say, we may not have put a man on the moon, but we've been awfully nice to the man on Earth. And then I'll say,
true.
But having said that, why can't we put a man on the moon? We actually could do both. That's what's so fantastic. I think once you're of the mindset that we're a country of alignment and a country of cooperation, then actually we're in a better position to do anything, is the truth of it. You know what I mean? And that's my feeling about Canada. And I think civility will be our greatest legacy.
When you went to SNL, you formed a bit of a bond with Lord Michaels, another Canadian. He took you under his wing.
He really did.
And he said as a Canadian there would be two things that would be different.
Well, he said, you'll do well, which was very, very nice, especially when I was scared out of my mind. He said, because you're Canadian and you'll study. You'll have the necessary built-in, baked-in humility of being a Canadian that, I better learn how this works, right? And I'll pay attention to the rules, you know. We love rules in Canada. And I'm just saying, go to a country that has no rules and see how quickly you go, boy, I really miss rules. It's okay, rules. You know, of course, everything in its correct measure. But he said, you're not going to enjoy things being unfair. He has said, your heart will be broken that many of the talented people that you meet, that character and talent don't go hand in hand in equal measure.
Is that true?
100% true. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For Americans, they'll say, did you meet so-and-so? And they'll say, what's he like? Canadian will say, was he nice? They need to be nice in Canada. And most cultures don't need you to be nice.
Wayne
Yes.
was created here.
Yes.
He's a secret Canadian?
No, he's very much, I mean,
Because he's from Aurora, not Aurora, Ontario.
I know, but here I am on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Every week I think I'm getting fired. I did a show here on Canadian TV, and I did Wayne on it.
Hi, I'm Wayne Campbell, and this is my Power Minute. All right.
And I thought, I wonder if it should be Canadian. I turned to somebody, what's like, and I described Scarborough, and somebody says Aurora, Illinois. It was Christine Zander, one of the writers on Saturday Night Live. I said, oh, there's Aurora, Ontario. I handed it in that night. That's how things work on Saturday Night Live. It's an under-rehearsed Broadway opening once a week. That's what Gilda Radner called it.
I don't know how they do it.
And she also said it's a monster, an insatiable monster that eats your material insatiably. The amount of decisions that you think are based on a lot of time of thought and a little bit, no, you have to just write or you're not on the show. So the decision to have him be from Scarborough, but have him be from the suburbs, I made no concession to a Chicago accent. It's not like he talks like, oh my God, my dad gave me $1. You know what I mean? It's absolutely not true. He has a Scarborough accent, you know what I mean? So, and
that sounded more Italian to me right there. I mean, did it not? It sounded kind of
just
Italian.
little letters to home within the whole piece.
Well, in lots of what you do, there's hints of Canadiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
you
can't
sneak
help
it
it.
in.
I do. Little packages home. It is interesting how very little the world knows about us. It's shocking, and that's fine. But that's where we're at. You know?
So how much on Saturday Night Live, how much should they talk about us?
About Canada? Yeah. Well, it's funny. A friend of mine came up to see, I was at Second City in Toronto. A friend of mine came to see the show, American, and there was an anti-American song in the show, which I actually didn't want to do because I don't think it's interesting to be anti-American. I think it's interesting to just be Canadian. But it was a funny song and whatever. And the friend said, wow, I had no idea that you guys thought that much about us, the American said about Canadians. And I said, well, what do you think of us? And he said, we don't. And I was like, wow, game, set, and match, man.
Wow. Yeah, it probably hurts. As far as all the interviews I've watched, it seems like Canada is the place to live, and it's been underrated for so long. Oh my gosh. Now Canada start becoming popular. More and more people gonna start moving there. Uh-oh. Ooh. How would y'all like it if a whole bunch of Americans started moving to Canada? Canada gonna be Americanized. Ooh. Oh, somebody knock on wood. Let's knock on wood. I don't wish that on y'all, actually, because I like Canada, and I want to visit, and I want to be able to get away and experience something new, something different. Other than where I live, I'm in America. He's born and raised New York City. Now I moved. I'm in New Jersey now. I'm 15 minutes from the city, Philadelphia. Yeah. It still is a little crazy around here. I'm in the suburbs too. You guys, let me know how you felt about this video down below in the comment section. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. The love and support truly means a lot, and we're going to hit that 10K soon. We're going to hit it fast. We're going to hit it before the summertime. Please spam my comment section and use the suggestion link down below in my description if you would like to recommend some more of these amazing videos for me to react to. And please feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members. All the support helps, honestly. And tell them we are on that road to 10K. Help a brother out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe.